San Diegan in heart. But that took a critical ideological turn after 9/11. I live about a mile away from the National Cemetery in West Los Angeles. Now, my house has the largest frontage of cemetery in Los Angeles. It's like Arlington West. And the new bodies from Afghanistan and Iraq are in my backyard. And so I see families visiting their loved ones. And so 9/11 never ended for me. You know, I have a 9/11 frame of mind. And I remember around September 20th of 2011, first thing I said to my wife when I was covering that from a news vantage, I said to my wife during the day, almost like a crazed mantra, I said, political correctness just ended, hon. It ended. It just ended today. It's over. The reality of the situation is going to hit the American people, and they're going to wake up and realize that the left was wrong, that moral relativism doesn't work, and this is a truly inherently evil, cancer that is radical Islam. Well, what I saw on September 20th was the opportunism of the political left, and I saw them at the Federal Building in West Los Angeles amass a huge rally that cut off traffic on the largest east-west artery in Los Angeles, Wilshire Boulevard. I think that's the largest intersection right there in the country. And that's how powerful the anti-war movement was while bodies were still being taken out, and some bodies weren't taken out because they were pulverized. And I thought to myself, I didn't think to myself, I knew to myself. I said to my wife, I said, there's the baby boomer generation, there's the lefties, the ponytailed, grizzled 60s generation. This is their last hurrah. They're going to take advantage of this situation while the United States is uniting. These people are going to do everything they can to get their last, fight in, because they never were defeated. The wall may have fallen in Berlin, but it didn't fall in the United States. These people didn't give up their weapons, and their weapons were popular culture and the mainstream media and academia, and they never went away. And they indoctrinated many of our children. I don't know how many people of you took your children to university, college, and said, sweetheart, honey, it's been a great run, and I'm sorry to say goodbye to you, but here's $200, don't spend too much. $200 per month, don't spend too much of it on beer, but you can dabble. We're not Puritans, just have a great time in college. And then the kids would come home at Thanksgiving 2 months later. I'm not eating that turkey. This is a patriarchal holiday. The Indians were. What happened? What happened? Come Christmas, all hell breaks loose. Start burning the tree. Anarchy begins to reign. Well, that's the left in this country, and I was that. And so I'm not saying this from the perspective of somebody who's just like, oh, tisk tisk. I was a cultural default liberal. I was raised by television, and I went to college, and I graduated thinking the worst of this country. And I had an epiphany. For me, it was Clarence Thomas, but for many people in this room who've gone from left to right or liberal to the right, everybody has their moment where they saw with pure clarity, oh my God, the system's completely rigged. And the left, brilliantly, took over popular culture. I say it really happened hardcore in 1970, 1972. Jimmy Stewart and Bob Hope and that generation, John Wayne, started to pass on and hand the torch on to a new generation that was more radicalized. That's my theory. I also come here to tell you parenthetically that there's a resurgent Hollywood movement. Hollywood conservatives that agree with you on everything that you're thinking in your head right now. Famous people, handsome people, models, actors, directors, punk rockers, musicians. And the reason why I have so much energy when I'm speaking to you today is because these people motivate me. I can't talk about them because they'll lose their jobs. David Lagstein, if you're here, I assume that you're here. I hope you're listening, because we, unlike you, I don't care if you tape what I have to say. I don't care if you put it on a website, because I'm completely proud of at Coco's restaurant in East County saying that Jerry Brown is a political animal, and they're going to investigate the whistleblowers and not us. So I just want you to know that as you're taping, as somebody here is taping, I don't care. Put it on the internet. I hope that people learn the lessons that I learned. I learned them the hard way because my parents were kind of these silent generation characters that just kind of practiced conservatism, but didn't whack me over the head with it. And now I came home from college, and it took me a while to realize that these people were right, that my parents were absolutely correct, and their orientation towards the world was absolutely correct. I mean, I can now forgive my mother for her hideous Hummel figurine collection. Don't put that, David, don't put that. I beg you.